Lots to discuss. Joining me now is former Staff Sergeant for the IDF, Johnny Daniels. Also with us, foreign policy expert Harley Lippman. Thank you, gentlemen, for joining us this Saturday morning. Sergeant, I'll start off with you first. We're seeing Israeli forces ramping up its incursion this week in central Gaza. You see an explosion right there. Is Israel getting closer to achieving their goal of eradicating Hamas?
Well, that's going to take quite a while, but we're definitely moving forward, and you can see that. It's very, very clear. We were very clear about it this week. We were at the home of Yahya Sinwar, one of his homes, and we've been pushing forward in many other locations as well. The IDF is moving forward incredibly well, incredibly strongly, and in a very surgical fashion as well, making sure that we kill as little civilians as possible and deal with the terrorists as they should be dealt with.
Harley, Israel has opened the door to discussions about the Palestinian Authority having control of Gaza after this, provided that there are significant reforms and that Gaza is de-radicalized. But can that even be done?
Yeah, I see that as being highly problematic. The Palestinian Authority is incredibly weak. No one really respects it. They're incredibly corrupt. And they're anti-Semitic and they're anti-Israel. I think it would be a disaster for them to do that. I think, given what I just saw in your report with Lebanon, I think the big picture there is, will Israel go to war with Hezbollah in Lebanon and expand the conflict? That, I think, is the big question mark out there.
It is. And Sergeant, we're not expecting another hostage deal or a pause. And in the near future, we're seeing some previous video there of some hostages being released. Is there a chance we could see more hostages released before the new year?
There's always a chance. I mean, there are talks going on as we speak. Whether they're fruitful or not is an entirely other question. It's a very difficult position for Israel at the moment. Hamas have many times, and recently as yesterday, claimed that they refuse to continue negotiating for any kind of hostage release. The only way they'll have a hostage release is if Israel stops the war altogether. That's not going to happen, so we have to look for fashions. Qatar are going to be less central in terms of dealing with these hostage talks, and that will move towards Egypt, where hopefully they'll have a little bit more push and pull on Sinwar and Hamas leadership from there.
Harley, we always talk about Iran. You know, we know they're behind this. They're the head of the snake. Is there ever a chance that we're going to get the leaders of Hamas that are living it up in the lap of luxury while, you know, the guys on the grounds are fighting this war against Israel? What do you think?
Well, you know, the leadership of Hamas, the three top leaders, are worth $11 billion. $11 billion. And here they're complaining about how the poor Palestinians in Gaza don't have enough food. Their yearly income in Gaza is something like $4,000 a year. They could feed the whole population for 5 years if they didn't want to live in their luxury villas in Doha and in Istanbul. So I hope that the IDF is targeting them. And I don't think they could sleep well at night or in the same bed. These people have committed a Holocaust, and I don't use that language lightly. This is the largest slaughter of Jews just because they're Jews since the Holocaust. And Israel has to make an incredibly strong statement to all the enemies of Israel, particularly Iran, that if you're going to kill Jews the way Hitler did, this time, we're going to hit you back many times harder. We're not going to let you get away with it. And I think that's one of the consequences of what's going on in Gaza, that a message is being sent to Hezbollah in Lebanon and to Iran, that you see what's going on in Lebanon, in Gaza. This is only going to be a Mickey Mouse show compared with what will take place in Lebanon and Iran should you continue to try to kill innocent Jews.
I know I keep saying this, but it's true. It always starts with the Jews, but it never ends with the Jews. And Hamas looks at all of us, including myself and Christians, as infidels. They want to kill me too. So it's incredible to see anybody support that terrorist organization. Thank you, gentlemen, so much for being with us. IDF Staff Sergeant Johnny Daniels and Harley Lippman. Thank you both, and happy holidays.